it's like you have, a Bollywood actor who gives a hit once in 4 years versus a Bollywood actor who gives a hit once every year. Who's the more bankable star? The one who's more consistent, right? So that's how I would draw the analogy for sports as well. And I hope that the policies can be sort of not so heavily loaded in favor of Olympic sports, and I have nothing against them. Support for the sport, definitely not more can be done. I think what we really need is to support sports that have given our country reasons to rejoice and celebrate. You don't get that in every single sport because, whether you're in the Olympics or not.
How much do you know about Q Sports? Enough to know that we have a 25-time world champion representing us?
Hi, I'm Pankaj Advani. I'm an Indian billiards and snooker player representing the country for the last 20 years.
India's leading QSist has spent the past 2 decades excelling on the green base. But what are Q Sports? Q Sports are a form of table games, generally played with a stick called a cue. It involves sports like snooker, billiards, and others introduced in India by the British Army officers. India has produced champions like Wilson Jones, Michael Ferreira, and Geet Sethi. But at the top of all of them stands Pankaj Advani, a name prominent in both the billiards and the snooker world, and might as well in your GK books.
Honestly, when I started playing this game, I was just 10, 11 years old, and my elder brother introduced me to the sport. It just happened by chance. I stumbled upon it, and my hobby in a few years turned into my profession. So I'm really glad that it turned out the way it did, because I love playing the game, I love competing, and I love representing my country and being an ambassador of it. When I started playing this game, in fact, my first world title was in snooker in 2003. And when I told my coach that I want to excel in billiards also, he started laughing at me. So did many of the senior players. They thought that excelling in 2 sports is not possible because the techniques and the efforts and the focus is completely different.
Advani defended his World Billiards title for the 5th time in a row, along with 8 titles this year. But something still bothered him.
Well, it's been a great year personally for me in billiards, but I think some work needs to be done in snooker, and this is the start officially of the year for Q Sports, because it's through the nationals that you get to represent India in various international events. So, but it's been a good year overall, and some of the youngsters also have done really well, the lady players as well. So India is picking up in Q Sports, and I'm sure that in the years to come we'll have more young players and more new champions coming up, especially starting with these national championships. Honestly, the national games, yes, was a bit disappointing, and I think I did express it on a social media platform. I posted my letter of appeal to the sports minister on Twitter, and it got a great response. People wanted to, sort of share their views in favor of including Q Sports in the national games. And I think because of the continuous efforts by our Billiards and Snooker Federation of India and the Secretary, Mr. Sunil Bajaj, and some of the top players, I think that's the reason why it's going to be included in the next edition of the national games in Goa. So that's great news for us. Support for the sport, definitely not more can be done. I think what we really need is to support sports that have given our country reasons to rejoice and celebrate. You don't get that in every single sport because, whether you're in the Olympics or not. And I understand that Olympics is a huge, massive event. It comes once in 4 years. I understand the Asian Games, the Commonwealth Games are all quadrennial events. Having said that, I think we need to understand the importance of consistency, of sportspersons who prepare as hard and who work as hard and who achieve as much as the others day in and day out, year in and year out, and appreciate them as well. So whether billiards and snooker is in the Olympics or not, according to me and many people, in fact, shouldn't make a difference.
A true ambassador of the sport, there is absolutely nothing stopping the Prince of Pune.
Honestly, I've reached a stage where I'm just enjoying my game, taking it one day at a time, one game at a time. And that's how I've always approached it. I don't really look, to certain events and say, oh, I need to win this. I think, fortunately, I've gone past that stage. But nevertheless, I love competing and doing well in each and every event. I think there are a few new events coming up next year. So hopefully, we'll get to see a lot more activity in Q Sports, especially in the international circuit.